Hello there, and welcome to The Dozing Explorer. I'm so glad that you have found your way to this quiet and gentle space tonight. Settle in, let your body grow heavy and soft, and allow the noise of the waking world to recede like a distant shoreline seen from a slowly departing ship. There is only peace and stillness here for you now. Tonight, our journey will be a slow and gentle descent into the deepest, quietest, and most hidden places on the surface of our planet. We will drift down into the profound and beautiful mystery of the great ocean trenches. This is not a lecture filled with sharp facts and hard numbers, but a soft and wandering exploration, a lullaby about the deep and silent places of the world. We will imagine a journey into a realm of absolute darkness, of immense but gentle pressure, and of a quiet that has remained unbroken for millions of years. We will listen to the slow, deep breath of the planet itself, a breath that forms these vast and hidden canyons. We will picture the strange and beautiful ghost-like creatures that drift in the eternal, gentle night of the abyss. We will feel the profound and peaceful stillness of a world that has never known the light of the sun. A world that moves not at the hurried pace of our own lives, but at the slow, patient, and graceful pace of geological time. And if these gentle journeys into the deep and the quiet help you to find your own deep and quiet rest, you might consider subscribing. It is a simple and silent act that helps others who are also searching for a peaceful harbor in the night to find their way to this calm and gentle current. But for now, all of that can drift away. There is nothing you need to do and nowhere you need to be. Your only task is to allow your mind to follow the sound of my voice as it sinks gently into these quiet and wonderful ideas. If a thought of your own should surface, simply let it float by like a single shimmering bubble. You fall asleep. That is a beautiful and wonderful thing. Just let yourself soften as our gentle descent begins. The deepest and most profound points on the surface of our Earth are not the high, windswept peaks of our tallest mountains, but are their quiet and gentle opposites. They are hidden from our view, tucked away in the deepest and most remote parts of our oceans, in long, gentle and curving scars in the seafloor that we call ocean trenches. These are the final and most profound frontiers of our own planet, places of such extreme conditions that they seem to belong to another world entirely. Imagine a landscape that is the perfect mirror image of the Himalayas, but carved downwards into the crust of the earth and filled with the cold, dark, and silent water of the abyss. To think of these trenches is to think of a world turned upside down, a world where the greatest features are not things that rise into the light, but are things that descend into a deep, gentle, and eternal darkness. They are the quiet, contemplative, and hidden valleys of our planet, places of immense and silent majesty that hold the deepest and most ancient secrets of the sea. Imagine a journey downwards that takes not minutes, but many long and gentle hours, a slow and peaceful sinking into a world of profound and ever-deepening quiet. You are in a small, strong, and perfectly spherical submersible, a tiny bubble of warmth and light in a vast and deepening blue. Your descent is not a fall, but a slow, controlled, and graceful drift, like a single autumn leaf falling through a vast and bottomless sky. For the first hour, you watch as the familiar world of light and color slowly and gently fades above you. The journey is a meditation in itself, a slow and patient letting go of the surface world. There is no sense of speed, only a gradual and beautiful transformation of the world outside your small, round window. It is a journey to the calmest and most stable place on Earth, a place free from weather, from seasons, and from the passage of the day and the night. It is a pilgrimage to the very heart of the planet's deep and quiet stillness. The journey begins in the familiar and beautiful sunlit zone of the ocean, the top few hundred feet of the water. This is a place of vibrant, dancing light and of rich, brilliant blue. It is a world teeming with the familiar and beautiful forms of life that we know. Schools of shimmering silver fish dart through the sunbeams. The gentle and majestic forms of whales and dolphins pass by. This is the ocean as we imagine it, a place of energy, of life and of light. But this beautiful and active world is just the thinnest and most delicate of surfaces, a bright and shining skin on a vast, deep and much quieter body of water. As your small and gentle vessel begins its slow descent, you are leaving this world behind, saying a long and quiet goodbye to the sun, and beginning a journey into a realm that is far older, far slower, and far more mysterious as you descend through the water. The beautiful and brilliant blue of the surface world slowly and gracefully deepens into a soft, rich, and twilight shade of indigo. The water outside your window is no longer a bright and transparent medium, but is becoming a color in its own right, a deep and velvety presence. The playful and dancing sunbeams of the surface have now merged into a single, uniform and gentle glow that seems to come from all directions at once. The world is becoming softer, its edges less defined. The frantic energy of the surface is giving way to a slower, more graceful and more silent rhythm. You are passing through the lower layers of the world of light, entering a beautiful and gentle threshold, a soft and quiet doorway between the world of the sun and the world that lies in the long and peaceful night below. Soon, as you continue your slow and gentle descent, all the warm colors from the sun's light are completely and gently filtered out by the deep water above you. The reds, the oranges, the yellows, all these are absorbed, their energy given to the upper layers of the sea. All that is left to penetrate this deep is the most energetic and most persistent of the light waves, the blues and the violets. The world outside your window is now a deep, pure, and luminous violet blue glow. It is a color of profound and gentle beauty, a color that is almost never seen on the land. It is the true and secret color of the deep ocean. The creatures that live in this realm are often a deep red color, which to our eyes would appear perfectly black in this blue light. A gentle and beautiful form of deep-sea camouflage. You have now entered the quiet and beautiful realm known as the Twilight Zone, or the Mesopelagic Zone. This is a place where the sun is no longer a bright and shining orb, but is just a faint, distant, and gentle memory. The light here is incredibly dim, perhaps 1,000 times dimmer than the light at the surface. It is a world of perpetual, gentle dusk, a soft and quiet place where the day never truly begins and the night never truly falls. The creatures that inhabit this world are strange and beautiful, often adorned with their own cold and gentle lights. This is the last and final outpost of the sun's influence, a beautiful and gentle borderland, a final and quiet farewell to the familiar and beautiful world of the day. Deeper still, as your slow and gentle journey continues, even this last beautiful and violet blue light begins to fade. It does not switch off suddenly, but slowly and gracefully dissolves into the surrounding darkness, like a single, gentle drop of ink dissolving in a vast and quiet glass of water. And then you enter a world of perfect, gentle, and absolute darkness. This is the Midnight Zone, and the even deeper abyssal and hadal zones below it. It is a darkness that is more profound and more complete than any night you have ever known on land. It is a darkness that has remained unbroken for millions of years. It is not a frightening or a lonely darkness, but a peaceful, soft, and all-embracing one. It is the darkness of the deep womb of the world, a place of perfect and profound stillness, where the only light to be found is the gentle, cold, and beautiful light that living creatures create for themselves. The pressure in these deep and quiet places is immense, but it is not a violent or a crushing force. It is a deep, steady, constant, and perfectly uniform embrace. At the bottom of the deepest trench, the pressure is over 1,000 times greater than at the surface. It is the equivalent of having the weight of several large trucks resting on every single square inch of your body. And yet, the creatures that live here do not feel this pressure at all because they have no air spaces inside them to be crushed. The pressure inside their soft and gentle bodies is perfectly and exactly equal to the immense pressure outside. To think of this pressure is not to think of a violent force, but to think of a perfect and gentle equilibrium, a state of absolute and profound balance. It is a quiet and constant holding, a deep and steady hug from the entire weight of the ocean above. This deep and profoundly quiet realm, the part of the ocean that is below 20,000 feet, or 6,000 meters, is known by the beautiful and gentle name of the hadal zone. The name comes from Hades, the ancient Greek god of the unseen underworld. For most of human history, this zone was a place of pure myth and imagination. It was thought to be a dead and empty realm, a place where no life could possibly exist. We now know that this is not true. The hadal zone is a unique and beautiful habitat, a quiet and gentle world with its own strange and wonderful forms of life. It is not a place of punishment, but a place of profound peace, of incredible adaptation, and of a deep and quiet beauty that is unlike anywhere else on Earth. It is the final and most mysterious of all, the ocean's many gentle and beautiful rooms. The water in the deep and quiet hadal zone is incredibly, perfectly still, and it is just a few gentle degrees above the point of freezing. Down here, there are no storms, no waves, and no turbulent currents. The water moves in a slow, graceful, and almost imperceptible flow that takes place over vast and geological timescales. The cold is a constant and gentle presence, a temperature that has not changed for thousands of years. It is one of the most stable and unchanging environments on the entire planet. To be in this water is to be in a state of deep and profound preservation, a place where time itself seems to slow down, and where the frantic and chaotic changes of the surface world are just a faint and distant, forgotten dream. It is a quiet and humbling fact that more human beings have stood on the dry, dusty and silent surface of the moon than have ever visited the bottom of the deepest ocean trench, the Challenger Deep in the Mariana Trench. The moon is 250,000 miles away in the cold vacuum of space. The bottom of the trench is just 7 miles beneath the waves of our own home planet. And yet, the challenges of reaching this deep and quiet place, the immense and gentle pressure, and the absolute darkness are in many ways greater than the challenges of space travel. The trenches are a quiet and gentle reminder that some of the most alien, most mysterious, and most unexplored worlds are not in the distant stars, but are right here, hidden in the deep, quiet, and beautiful heart of our own blue planet. The journey to the very bottom of the Mariana Trench is a gentle and vertical descent of nearly 7 miles, or about 11 kilometers. If you were to take the tallest mountain on Earth, Mount Everest, and you were to place its base on the floor of the Challenger Deep, its high and snowy peak would still be more than a mile beneath the surface of the ocean waves. This is a scale of depth that is difficult for the human mind to truly grasp. It is a quiet and gentle journey downwards that is longer than the journey a commercial airplane takes upwards into the sky. It is a descent into a place that is as remote from our own sunlit world as it is possible to be, while still being on the surface of our own gentle planet. Imagine a single, gentle and beautiful grain of sand, stirred up from a beach by a gentle wave, and then carried out to sea. If this single grain of sand were to find itself floating directly above the deepest part of an ocean trench, and it began its long, slow and gentle journey downwards, That journey could take many weeks to complete. The water in the deep is so still, and the grain of sand is so small that its descent would be a slow and graceful silent ballet. It would drift down through the layers of fading light, through the world of strange and beautiful twilight creatures, and into the final, absolute, and gentle darkness, settling at last as a single quiet thought on the soft, silty floor of the deepest and most peaceful valley in the world. The silence in the deep and gentle ocean trenches is profound and almost absolute. It is a silence that is deeper and more complete than any you can find on the land. Up here, in our world, even in the quietest of places, there is always the gentle sound of the wind, the distant rustle of a leaf, the soft hum of the world. But down in the hadal zone, there is no wind, there is no weather. The only sounds are the deep, slow, and almost infrasonic rumbles of the earth itself, the gentle groans of the tectonic plates as they slowly and gracefully shift. And there are the quiet, gentle, and infrequent clicks and whistles of the strange and beautiful creatures that make this silent world their home. It is a silence that is not empty, but is full of a deep, ancient, and peaceful presence. This is a world that has never, in its billions of years of existence, felt the direct warmth or the beautiful light of the sun, the gentle and life-giving energy of our star, which powers almost all of the life on the surface of our planet, cannot penetrate to these profound and quiet depths. This world is powered by a different and much more subtle source of energy. It is powered by the gentle, constant, and patient rain of marine snow from above, and in some special places, by the quiet and chemical energy that whispers up from the warm heart of the earth itself. It is a world that has learned to live and to thrive in a state of perpetual, gentle, and beautiful night. The great and silent walls of an ocean trench can be far steeper and more dramatic than any mountain canyon that can be found on the land. On the land, the forces of wind, of rain, and of ice are constantly at work, softening the edges of the mountains and filling the valleys with gentle, sloping sides. But in the deep and quiet stillness of the ocean trenches, these forces of erosion are almost completely absent. And so, the great geological faults that create the trenches can form vast and sheer cliffs of rock, vertical walls that can plunge down for thousands of feet in an almost unbroken drop. These are the greatest and most silent cliffs on our planet, hidden forever in a deep and gentle darkness. The gentle and slow descent into an ocean trench is a journey not just through space, but through beautiful and distinct layers of time and of temperature. As you sink downwards, you are moving through water that is progressively older and that has been out of contact with the atmosphere for longer and longer periods of time. The water at the very bottom of a trench may have last been at the surface thousands of years ago in a different and colder part of the world. It is a journey into the planet's deep and ancient memory. The temperature also drops in a gentle and predictable way from the warm surface waters, through a sharp and sudden layer known as the thermocline, and then into the deep, constant, and profound cold of the abyss. As you go deeper and deeper on your gentle and silent journey, the very chemistry of the water begins to change. The water in the deep ocean becomes richer in certain precious and life-sustaining nutrients, such as nitrates and phosphates. This is because these nutrients are the final product of the decomposition of all the organic matter, all the marine snow that has been slowly and gently sinking from the surface for millions of years. The deep ocean is the great, quiet, and gentle reservoir of the ocean's fertility. The deep and slow currents will eventually bring this rich water back to the surface in a process called upwelling, providing the vital and beautiful nutrients that fuel the explosion of life in the sunlit zone. Sound. that gentle and beautiful vibration that fills our own world with so much information and music, travels in strange, quiet, and gentle ways in the profound and pressurized depths of the ocean trenches. The immense pressure of the water makes it denser, which in turn makes the speed of sound much faster than it is at the surface. A sound in the deep will travel with a greater and more quiet speed. The path of the sound is also bent and refracted in beautiful and complex ways by the subtle changes in temperature and pressure. The deep ocean has its own unique and gentle acoustics, a vast and silent concert hall where sounds can be channeled and can travel for thousands of miles, their gentle message carried through a special and deep sound channel. The final and most gentle part of the long descent is into a world that was, for almost all of human history, thought to be completely and utterly lifeless. The ancient belief was that the pressures were too high, the temperatures too cold, and the darkness too absolute for any form of life, as we knew it, to possibly survive. The discovery that the trenches are in fact home to a unique, beautiful and thriving ecosystem was one of the greatest and most gentle scientific surprises of the 20th century. It is a quiet and profound testament to the incredible and gentle resilience of life, and its beautiful ability to find a way to exist and to thrive in even the most extreme and seemingly inhospitable of all possible worlds when your small and gentle submersible finally arrives at the very bottom of the trench. The landscape that is revealed in your soft lights is not one of hard, jagged rock. It is, more often than not, a soft, fine and gentle pale-colored ooze. This beautiful, soft sediment is made of the finest and most ancient of clays, mixed with the microscopic, skeletal remains of countless tiny creatures that have been gently sinking from the waters above for millions upon millions of years. To land on this surface is to land on a deep and gentle pillow of time itself. It is a surface softer than any snowdrift, a quiet and peaceful foundation for the deepest and most silent world on our planet. The total and combined volume of water that is held within all of the Earth's deep and gentle ocean trenches is a vast and almost unimaginable quantity. If you could somehow take all the great mountain ranges of all the continents on Earth, the Himalayas, the Andes, the Alps, the Rockies, and you could place them into the great, curving depressions of the ocean trenches, the trenches are so vast and so deep that they would be able to contain all of them with room to spare. They are the great, hidden and negative spaces of our world, a quiet and gentle counterbalance to all the high and sunlit places of the land. This is a world that operates on a slow, patient and profound geological timescale. The changes that happen here are not measured in days or in years, but in millions of years. The slow and graceful dance of the tectonic plates, the patient accumulation of the deep sea ooze, the gentle and slow evolution of the strange and beautiful creatures, all of these things are part of a rhythm that is far deeper and far slower than our own human experience of time. To contemplate this world is to feel your own sense of time begin to soften and to expand, to feel a sense of deep and profound peace that comes from touching a time scale that is so vast and so gentle that it is almost eternal. To arrive at the bottom of a deep ocean trench is to arrive in the quietest, the calmest, the most stable, and the most profoundly and gently isolated place on the entire surface of our planet. It is a world that is completely shielded from the chaotic and ever-changing weather of the atmosphere. It is a world that is untouched by the changing of the seasons. It is a world that exists in a state of perpetual, gentle, and peaceful stillness. It is the perfect and beautiful embodiment of a deep and meditative calm, a place where all the noise and all the hurry of the surface world has completely and utterly faded away into a faint and distant, forgotten memory. The great and profound abyss of an ocean trench is not empty. It is simply a vast, quiet, and peaceful room that has been waiting for billions of years for a gentle and respectful observer to arrive. Its darkness is not a void, but is a soft and gentle curtain. Its silence is not an absence, but is a deep and resonant presence. And its stillness is not a state of death, but is a state of deep, slow, and profound life. To imagine this world is to imagine a place of ultimate and gentle peace, a quiet and sacred sanctuary at the very bottom of our own beautiful and living world. Ocean trenches are formed by a slow, powerful and gentle process called subduction. Imagine the surface of our planet is not a single, solid shell, but is a mosaic of huge, continent-sized and slowly moving pieces called tectonic plates. These plates are floating on the hot, soft mantle of the Earth beneath them. In some places where two of these great plates meet, one of them, usually the denser oceanic plate, will gently and gracefully bow downwards and begin to slide beneath the other. This slow, quiet, and powerful bending of the Earth's own crust is what creates the deep, long, and gentle depressions that we call ocean trenches. It is a process of such immense scale and slowness that it is almost impossible to comprehend, a silent and graceful dance of the continents themselves. This gentle and beautiful process of subduction is a dance that takes place over many millions of years. The rate at which the plates move is incredibly slow, often just a few inches per year, about the same speed that your own fingernails grow. And so the creation of a great and deep ocean trench is not a violent or a sudden event. It is a slow, patient, and quiet unfolding of geological time. It is a testament to the profound and beautiful power of a gentle, constant, and persistent force applied over a vast and almost unimaginable expanse of time. The trenches are the beautiful and gentle proof that the most profound changes in our world are often the slowest and the quietest. If you look at a map of the world's seafloor, you will notice a strange and beautiful thing. The ocean trenches are not drawn as perfectly straight lines. They are almost always a gentle, graceful, and sweeping arc, like the soft and beautiful curve of a crescent moon drawn upon the dark fabric of the seafloor. This beautiful curved shape is a simple and elegant consequence of the fact that the Earth is a sphere. When you try to bend a flat, rigid plate over the surface of a curved ball, the line of the bend will naturally and beautifully form an arc. The gentle and graceful shape of the trenches is a quiet and beautiful signature of the roundness of our own home planet. These deep, quiet, and beautiful trenches are the planet's great and gentle recycling system. The seafloor is not a permanent and unchanging thing. New oceanic crust is constantly being born at the mid-ocean ridges, great underwater mountain ranges where magma wells up from the mantle. This new crust then slowly and gently travels across the ocean floor for millions of years, and when it finally reaches an ocean trench, it is gently and quietly returned to the Earth's deep and hot mantle to be melted down and one day, perhaps, to be reborn again. The trenches are a beautiful and vital part of the Earth's long, slow and gentle life cycle, a place of quiet and profound renewal. The soft, fine and gentle sediment that slowly and patiently collects on the floor of an ocean trench is a quiet, beautiful and undisturbed library of the Earth's deep history. Each layer of this sediment is a page in a great and ancient book. By drilling deep into this sediment and extracting long cylindrical cores, scientists can read this book. The tiny fossilized shells of microscopic creatures in the layers can tell us what the temperature of the ocean was millions of years ago. A thin layer of volcanic ash can be matched to a specific ancient eruption. The sediment of the trenches is a quiet, gentle, and priceless archive, a deep and peaceful memory of our planet's long and ever-changing life. In some of the deep and quiet trenches, strange, beautiful, and mysterious brine pools can form. These are like small, quiet lakes on the bottom of the ocean. They are formed when very salty water emerging from deep within the Earth's crust becomes trapped in a small basin or depression on the seafloor. This brine is much saltier and therefore much denser than the surrounding seawater, and so it does not mix. It creates a distinct and visible surface with its own gentle underwater shorelines. To a deep-sea submersible, it looks like a quiet and misty lake in a dark and silent forest. These beautiful and strange underwater lakes, these quiet and hidden brine pools, have their own unique and gentle ecosystems. The water within them is often completely devoid of oxygen and is toxic to most normal sea creatures. But they are often home to vast and dense mats of specialized microbes, strange and ancient forms of life that can thrive in these extreme and salty conditions. The edges of these pools, where the brine meets the normal seawater, are often teeming with other, larger creatures who feed on the rich, microbial life. They are strange and beautiful oases of a different kind of life, hidden in the deepest and most quiet parts of the sea. Another beautiful and gentle feature of the deep trenches is the presence of cold seeps. These are not fiery volcanic vents, but are quiet, gentle, and slow fissures in the seafloor where chemicals like methane and hydrogen sulfide whisper up from the deep sediments and rock below. These chemicals, which would be toxic to most life on the surface, are a source of energy for a whole, unique, and beautiful ecosystem. These are not places of heat and violence, but of a quiet, cold, and gentle chemical nourishment. They are like slow, magical, and invisible springs in the deep, dark, and silent desert of the abyss. The deepest and most powerful earthquakes in the world almost all have their origins in the quiet and gentle subduction zones of the great ocean trenches. These are not violent and angry events, but are the gentle, slow, and immense release of an unimaginable amount of accumulated tension. For hundreds of years, the two great tectonic plates, as they try to slide past each other, can become stuck. The pressure builds and builds and builds, a slow and quiet winding of a great and geological spring. And then, in a single, quiet moment, the plates will slip, releasing all of that stored energy in a great and powerful shudder that can be felt all around the world. The solid rock on the edge of a tectonic plate, as it is dragged down into the immense pressure and the gentle heat of the Earth's mantle in a subduction zone, is not just melted, it is transformed. The intense and gentle pressure causes the minerals within the rock to recrystallize, to change their very structure, forming new and beautiful kinds of rock, known as metamorphic rocks. Blueskist and eclogite are two of these beautiful and dense rock types born in the deep and quiet pressure cooker of the trenches. They are a quiet and gentle testament to the alchemical and transformative power of the deep earth. The great, steep and silent walls of the ocean trenches are not perfectly static and unchanging. They are often scarred by the slow and gentle passage of vast underwater avalanches of sediment. These are not like the fast and violent avalanches of snow that we know on land. These deep-sea events, which are called turbidity currents, are more like slow, dense and heavy rivers of mud and sand that flow gracefully and silently down the steep slopes of the trench. They can be vast, powerful and beautiful events, a slow-motion reshaping of the deepest and most quiet landscapes on our planet. For a long, long time, for most of human history, and even for the early history of ocean science, it was a quiet and gentle but firm belief that no life could possibly survive the immense, quiet pressure and the absolute eternal cold of the hadal zone. It seemed a simple and logical conclusion. Scientists in the 19th century, in a theory known as the Azoic hypothesis, imagined the deep ocean as a silent, sterile desert. They calculated the immense weight of the water, a pressure so great it would crush the strongest steel. They measured the profound and unchanging cold a temperature that would slow and stop all the familiar processes of life. And they saw the absolute and perfect darkness, a world without the sun's energy, which they knew was the foundation of almost all life on Earth. To them, the deep trenches were not just a different environment. They were an anti-environment, a place where the very definition of life seemed to be negated. They imagined a quiet, pure and lifeless world of just water, rock, and immense, silent pressure. This belief was not a fearful one, but a logical one, a gentle and respectful acknowledgement of what seemed to be the absolute limits of biology. The idea of a lifeless abyss was, in its own way, a peaceful one, a final and quiet boundary to the otherwise boundless and chaotic world of living things. It was a gentle and quiet end to the story of life on our planet. But the gentle and patient exploration of the deep ocean has shown us that this quiet and logical assumption was beautifully and profoundly wrong. We now know with a deep and gentle certainty that the great ocean trenches are not a sterile desert, but are in fact home to a quiet, gentle, and exquisitely adapted community of beautiful and wondrous creatures. The first hints of this came when long-sounding lines used to measure the depth would sometimes come back with small, strange sea creatures attached to them, animals from a place that was supposed to be empty. Then the first deep-sea dredges and trawls, scraping the bottom of these deep places, brought up a collection of strange, pale and delicate life forms that had never been seen before. It was a moment of profound and gentle revelation for science. The boundaries of life were not where we thought they were. Life was far more resilient, far more creative and far more mysterious than we had ever imagined. The abyss was not a place of death, but a place of a different kind of life. A life that had found a way to thrive in the most extreme and gentle of pressures, in the most profound and quiet of colds, and in the most absolute and beautiful of darknesses. The life forms that have been discovered in the deep and gentle ocean trenches are not the fierce and terrifying monsters of our ancient sea legends. They are not giant, aggressive krakens or sea serpents. The reality of life in the deep is far more gentle, far more quiet, and in many ways, far more beautiful and strange. The creatures of the hadal zone are, for the most part, delicate, soft, and often very, very small. They are the quiet and gentle poets of the abyss, the patient and silent monks of the deep. Their existence is not a constant, violent struggle, but a slow, graceful, and perfectly adapted dance with their extreme and gentle environment. To see images of these creatures is to see a world of ethereal, ghost-like forms, of pale colors, and of slow, deliberate, and peaceful movements. They are a testament to the fact that life's answer to a great and powerful challenge is not always a greater and more powerful force, but is sometimes a greater and more profound softness, a gentle and beautiful act of yielding. To survive the immense and gentle pressure of the deep ocean trenches, the creatures that live there have evolved a simple, beautiful, and profound solution. Their bodies are made almost entirely of water, and they have no hard, empty, or air-filled spaces inside them that could be crushed. They have no lungs like we do, no swim bladders like the fish of the upper ocean. An air-filled space brought down to these depths would be instantly and completely flattened by the immense weight of the water. But a body that is made of water, a body that is already full, has nothing to be compressed. The water inside their cells is as incompressible as the water outside. And so the great and immense pressure of the hadal zone passes through their soft and gentle bodies as if it were not even there. They have become one with the pressure, a perfect and beautiful embodiment of the principle of finding peace, not by resisting a great force, but by becoming a gentle and willing part of it. The very flesh of the creatures of the deep is often a soft, delicate and gentle gelatinous substance. This is a beautiful and elegant adaptation that allows the pressure inside their bodies to perfectly and instantly match the immense and quiet pressure outside. Their cells are not protected by hard shells or thick skins, but by a perfect and gentle state of equilibrium. It is a profound and beautiful state of being to be in such perfect and gentle balance with one's environment. The creatures of the trench do not fight against the pressure. They embrace it. They are held in its constant, steady and peaceful hug. This softness is not a weakness, but is their greatest and most profound strength. It allows them to live, to move, and to thrive in a world that would instantly destroy a creature that was built on the principle of rigidity. They are a quiet and beautiful lesson from the deep, a gentle whisper that in the face of a great and overwhelming force, the most resilient path is often the softest. The food source for this deep, quiet and beautiful world is a gentle, constant, and endless phenomenon that scientists call marine snow. In a world with no sunlight, there are no plants to form the base of the food web. So where does the energy for life come from? It comes from above. Marine snow is a slow, constant, and gentle drift of organic material from the rich, sunlit upper layers of the ocean. It is made of the decaying remains of tiny plankton, of small bits of dead fish, of fecal pellets, and of other random detritus of life. As this material sinks, it clumps together, forming what looks like a gentle, endless, and silent snowfall in the dark and quiet water. This gentle rain of nourishment is the foundation of almost all life in the deep trenches. It is a slow, patient, and constant gift from the world of light to the world of darkness, a quiet and beautiful connection that sustains the deepest and most hidden of all our planet's ecosystems. Life in the deep and gentle ocean trenches moves at a slow, patient, and profoundly peaceful pace. The supply of marine snow is very thin and very spread out. Energy is a precious and scarce resource in the deep, and so the creatures that live here have evolved to be masters of a quiet and gentle efficiency. They move slowly and deliberately, wasting no motion. Their metabolisms, the internal engines of their bodies, run at an incredibly slow and gentle rate. They are a world in a permanent state of deep and quiet meditation. This slowness is not a sign of lethargy or weakness, but is a sign of a profound and beautiful wisdom, a perfect adaptation to a world where patience is the key to survival. It is a quiet and gentle reminder to us, in our own hurried and frantic world, of the deep and profound beauty that can be found in a slower, quieter, and more deliberate way of being. The deepest living fish that has ever been found by science is the ethereal and beautiful Mariana snailfish. It is a small, gentle, and almost ghost-like creature that lives in the profound and quiet depths of the Mariana Trench. It is a creature that seems to be made more of water and of shadow than of solid substance. Its body is translucent, a pale and gentle pinkish white, and you can see its delicate internal organs through its thin and beautiful skin. It has no scales, and its bones are soft and cartilaginous, more like the gentle cartilage in our own ears than like hard and rigid bone. It has small, dark, and simple eyes that likely see very little. It moves with a slow, gentle, and graceful rhythm, like a piece of silk drifting in a slow and quiet current. It is a creature of profound and gentle softness, a perfect and beautiful embodiment of life's ability to adapt and to find a home in the most extreme and most quiet of all possible worlds. Many of the creatures that live in the absolute and gentle darkness of the deep trenches are completely and perfectly blind. In a world where no single photon of sunlight has ever penetrated, the complex and beautiful machinery of an eye is a useless and energetically expensive luxury. And so, over millions of years of slow and gentle evolution, many of these creatures have lost their eyes completely. They are not missing something. They have simply and gracefully let go of a sense that has no purpose in their quiet and dark world. They are a beautiful and gentle reminder that life is profoundly practical, and that it does not hold on to things that are no longer needed. Their blindness is not a disability, but is a form of quiet and gentle perfection, a perfect adaptation to a world of pure and eternal night. Instead of sight, the creatures of the deep trenches have evolved to navigate their quiet and dark world through a heightened and beautiful sense of touch and of vibration. Many of them have long, delicate, and beautiful feelers and antennae that they use to gently probe the soft, oozy floor of the trench, and to sense the faint and gentle water currents that might carry the scent of food. They can feel the faintest of vibrations, the quiet and gentle presence of another creature moving nearby. Their world is not a world of images, but a world of textures, of pressures, and of gentle, silent feelings. It is a quiet and beautiful reminder that there are many different ways of perceiving reality, and that our own sight-dominated world is just one of a countless number of possible and beautiful sensory landscapes. Many of the trench creatures are a beautiful, ghostly and ethereal shade of white, or almost completely and perfectly transparent. In a world without light, the beautiful and complex pigments that give color to the creatures of the surface world have no purpose. There is no need for camouflage to hide from predators, and there is no need for bright colors to attract a mate. And so many of the creatures of the deep have become like beautiful and gentle ghosts, their bodies as pale and as translucent as the quiet, still water in which they live. This lack of color is not an absence, but is a form of deep and quiet, peaceful simplicity. It is a beautiful and gentle expression of a life that has been stripped down to its most essential and most honest form. Other deep-sea animals, particularly those that live in the slightly higher twilight zone, are often a deep, rich and velvety shade of red. This might seem like a strange and conspicuous color, but it is in fact a beautiful and gentle form of deep-sea camouflage. The blue and violet light that penetrates to these depths is completely and utterly absorbed by the red pigment, making a red creature appear perfectly and completely black to any creature that might be looking up from below. Against the faint blue and distant light of the surface, a red fish would be completely and utterly invisible, a perfect and gentle silhouette of pure and simple darkness. It is a quiet and beautiful trick of the light, a gentle and wonderful example of how life uses the very laws of physics to create its own secret and beautiful invisibility. In the absolute, perfect, and gentle darkness of the deep trenches, many of the creatures that live there have evolved the beautiful and wondrous ability to create their own gentle and cold light. This process is called bioluminescence, and it is one of the most magical and gentle phenomena in all of nature. It is not a hot and violent light like a fire, but is a cool, chemical, and almost 100% efficient form of light. The creatures of the deep can turn this light on and off. They can create it in different colors, and they can produce it in beautiful and intricate patterns. The deep and quiet darkness of the trenches is not a uniform and unchanging blackness. It is a vast and silent space that is punctuated by the gentle, beautiful, and living constellations of these strange and wonderful creatures. This beautiful, living and gentle light is not primarily used for seeing in the way that we use a flashlight to illuminate a dark room. The eyes of most deep-sea creatures are too simple for that. Instead, this beautiful and gentle bioluminescence is a form of quiet and silent communication. A string of gentle flashing lights along the side of a fish might be a way to attract a mate. A single bright flash might be a way to startle and to momentarily blind a predator, allowing the creature to escape into the gentle and forgiving darkness. And a small, gentle, and dangling lure of light in front of a mouth full of sharp teeth is a beautiful and patient way of attracting a small and curious meal. It is a complex, silent, and beautiful language of light, spoken in the deepest and most quiet of all possible nights. To imagine the deep and quiet ocean trenches is to imagine a secret. hidden and beautiful cosmos tucked away in the deepest part of our own world. The gentle, silent, and flashing lights of the bioluminescent creatures are the stars and the galaxies of this inner universe. They move not with the great and predictable clockwork of the heavens, but with the slow, graceful, and gentle rhythms of life. It is a universe of profound and beautiful quiet, a cosmos where the constellations are born and live and gently die. To think of this world is to feel a deep and quiet sense of wonder, a gentle and beautiful reminder that the universe is full of hidden and secret gardens, of quiet and beautiful rooms that are waiting to be discovered, not just in the distant stars, but right here, in the deep and gentle heart of our own beautiful planet. A very common and very successful inhabitant of the deep and gentle ocean trenches is a type of small, shrimp-like crustacean called an amphipod. On the beaches and in the shallow waters of our world, these creatures are often very, very small, sometimes no larger than a grain of rice. They are a humble and often overlooked part of the great and beautiful tapestry of life. But in the strange and gentle world of the deep ocean trenches, something remarkable and beautiful happens to these small and simple creatures. They become a quiet and gentle testament to one of the strangest and most beautiful mysteries of the deep sea. In the deep and quiet world of the trenches, a strange and gentle phenomenon known as abyssal gigantism or hadal gigantism can sometimes occur. For reasons that scientists do not yet fully and gently understand, some species of creatures that are very small in the shallow parts of the ocean can evolve to become gentle and peaceful giants in the profound and quiet depths. This is particularly true of the amphipods. In the deepest parts of the trenches, amphipods have been discovered that are not the size of a grain of rice, but are the size of a human hand, or even larger. These are the gentle and quiet giants of the abyss, the same humble creature, but grown to a beautiful and majestic scale in this strange and gentle world. These large, giant, and gentle amphipods are the peaceful and quiet scavengers of the trench floor. They move slowly and gracefully across the soft and gentle ooze, using their sensitive and delicate antennae to search for the precious and fallen particles of marine snow, or for the larger prize of a dead fish or whale that has completed its long and gentle journey down from the sunlit world above. They are the quiet and efficient cleanup crew of the deep, a vital and beautiful part of the trench's gentle and slow-moving ecosystem. They are not fearsome monsters, but are quiet, gentle and slow-moving gardeners, tending to the deepest and most silent of all the world's quiet and beautiful gardens. Another strange and beautiful creature that is often found in the deep and gentle trenches is a type of translucent, deep-sea holothurian, a relative of the familiar sea cucumber, which is often and beautifully called a sea pig. These small, gentle and plump creatures, often a pale and ghostly pink, walk slowly and deliberately across the soft, muddy floor of the abyss on their many small, stilt-like and water-filled legs. They are the slow and gentle grazers of the deep, using the small tentacles around their mouths to pick up and to eat the nutrient-rich surface layer of the ooze. To watch a video of these creatures is to see a scene of the most profound and gentle peace, a quiet and slow-motion ballet of small, soft, and beautiful beings going about their quiet and simple lives in the deepest and most peaceful place on Earth. At the quiet and beautiful oases of the cold seeps, where gentle and life-giving chemicals whisper up from the Earth's crust, life is not dependent on the sun at all. This is a world that is completely and utterly independent of the great and beautiful chain of photosynthesis. It is a form of life that is powered by the gentle and quiet inner warmth and chemistry of the planet itself. The base of this food web is made of vast and gentle mats of microbes that have learned the beautiful and ancient art of chemosynthesis. The art of creating life not from light, but from the simple and gentle energy that is locked away in chemicals like methane and sulfide. These are quiet and beautiful gardens that grow in a place of absolute and eternal darkness, a testament to life's incredible and gentle ingenuity. The most beautiful and iconic inhabitants of these gentle and chemical-fed oases are the giant tube worms. These strange and wonderful creatures can grow to be several feet long, and they live in large, quiet, and beautiful colonies, like a strange and silent forest on the deep sea floor. They have no mouth and no digestive system. Instead, they live in a beautiful and gentle symbiotic partnership with the chemosynthetic bacteria that live inside their bodies. The tube worm's beautiful, soft and bright red plume, which extends out of its protective tube, acts like a gill, absorbing the necessary chemicals from the water. It then delivers these chemicals to the bacteria inside it, and the bacteria, in turn, create the food and the energy that the tube worm needs to live. It is a perfect and beautiful partnership, a quiet and gentle story of cooperation and of mutual support in one of the most extreme environments on Earth. The gentle and beautiful creatures of the deep ocean trenches have a quiet and profound advantage. They have never, in their entire evolutionary history, known a predator from the bright and busy sunlit world. They are perfectly and completely adapted to their own slow, quiet, and gentle environment. The fast-moving, sharp-eyed, and aggressive predators of the upper ocean cannot survive the immense pressure and the profound cold of the deep. And so the world of the trench is a kind of gentle and quiet sanctuary. It is a place where a different set of rules for survival apply, a world where the most successful strategies are not speed and aggression, but are patience, efficiency, and a deep, quiet, and gentle softness. The very pace of life in the deep and cold trenches is so incredibly slow that some of the deep-sea creatures may live for hundreds and hundreds of gentle, quiet, and peaceful years. The deep-sea Greenland shark, for example, is thought to be able to live for over 400 years, making it the longest living vertebrate on our planet. In the cold, dark, and stable environment of the deep, where energy is scarce and the processes of life are slowed to a near standstill, aging itself seems to slow down. These creatures are the ancient and gentle elders of our planet, quiet and living witnesses to centuries of the surface world's frantic and ever-changing history, all from their own quiet, peaceful, and unchanging world of deep and gentle stillness. The quiet and gentle microbes that live buried deep in the soft and ancient sediment of the ocean trenches are some of the most ancient, most patient, and most slow-living organisms on the entire planet. These are not just creatures that have a long lifespan. These are creatures for whom the very process of life, the act of consuming energy and of reproducing, happens on a time scale that is almost geological. They are a community of life that is living in the slowest of all possible slow motions, a quiet and beautiful testament to the very minimum requirements for existence. They are a gentle and profound reminder that to be alive does not always mean to be active, but can also mean to be in a state of deep, quiet, and almost perfect, patient waiting. It is a gentle and almost unbelievable thought that some of these quiet and deep microbes, living in their state of profound and slow-motion life, may only divide and reproduce once every 1,000 years, or even once every 10,000 years. Imagine a life that is so slow, so quiet, and so patient that a single generation can last for a period of time that is longer than all of recorded human history. These are the quiet and gentle masters of patience. They are a form of life that has slowed its own inner clock down to a near-perfect standstill. They are not just living in a slow environment. They have become a living embodiment of that slowness. They are a profound and beautiful living meditation on the nature of time itself. The gentle and beautiful discovery of this unique, Slow and quiet biosphere, this entire world of life that exists in the deep ocean trenches, has completely and profoundly changed our scientific understanding of where life is possible. It has shown us that life can exist and can thrive in places that we once thought were absolutely and completely sterile. This has vast and gentle implications not just for our understanding of our own planet, but for our search for life elsewhere in the universe. If life can exist in the dark, cold, and high-pressure world of an ocean trench, then perhaps it can also exist in the dark, cold, and high-pressure ocean that is thought to lie hidden beneath the icy shell of Jupiter's moon, Europa. The trenches have opened our minds to a whole new and beautiful universe of gentle possibilities. The deep, dark, and gentle ocean trenches are a quiet and beautiful testament to the incredible and gentle resilience of life. They are a profound and living example of life's powerful and persistent impulse to find a way, to adapt, to change, and to create a home in every single possible niche of our world. The story of life in the trenches is not a story of a desperate and difficult struggle. It is a story of a quiet, gentle, and triumphant success. It is a beautiful and gentle reminder that life is not a fragile and delicate flame that is easily extinguished, but is a deep, powerful, and quiet river that can find its way through any landscape. No matter how dark, how cold, or how full of a gentle and immense pressure, the beautiful and gentle world of the ocean trenches is a world that thrives not on the principles of abundance, of speed, and of competition, which so often characterize the sunlit world above. Instead, it is a world that thrives on the quiet, gentle, and beautiful principles of patience, of quietness, of cooperation, and of a profound and gentle, slow efficiency. It is a world where the most successful beings are not the strongest, but are the softest. They are not the fastest, but are the most patient. And they are not the most aggressive, but are the most peacefully and beautifully adapted. It is a gentle and quiet lesson from the deepest part of our world, a beautiful and profound model for a different and more peaceful way of being. Almost all of our quiet and gentle knowledge of this hidden and beautiful world comes from the brave, patient, and gentle explorations that have been carried out using highly specialized deep-sea submersibles. These are not submarines in the way we normally think of them. They are small, strong, and often spherical vessels, designed for one purpose: to withstand the immense and gentle pressure of the deep and to allow a human or a robotic observer to safely and peacefully visit these quiet and hidden realms. They are the small and gentle ships of our own inner space, the quiet and beautiful chariots of our deepest and most profound explorations. Most of the modern exploration of the deep and gentle ocean trenches is now done not with human-occupied vehicles, but with beautiful, sophisticated, and unmanned robotic vehicles. These are often called ROVs, or remotely operated vehicles. They are our gentle, quiet, and tireless eyes and hands in the deep. They can stay down in the abyss for days at a time, patiently and quietly exploring the strange and beautiful landscapes and sending back high-definition video of a world that no human eye has ever directly seen. They are a gentle and beautiful extension of our own senses, a quiet and profound testament to our own deep and gentle curiosity. These quiet and gentle robots are connected to a support ship on the sunlit surface by a very long, very thin and very beautiful fiber optic cable, a tether that can be many, many miles long. This delicate glass thread is the robot's lifeline. It carries the power down to the robot's lights and thrusters, and it carries the beautiful high-definition video and the scientific data back up to the waiting and gentle scientists on the ship. It is a quiet and beautiful technological umbilical cord, a fragile and gentle link that connects our own warm and sunlit world with the cold, dark, and mysterious world of the deep. To watch the video feed from one of these robots is to be looking through a magical and gentle window. a quiet and beautiful portal into another and deeply peaceful world. The gentle and quiet robots that explore the deep ocean trenches and the human-occupied submersibles that have made the journey are built of incredibly strong and beautiful materials like titanium. The main crew sphere of a submersible is often made of a perfect, thick, and beautiful sphere of titanium alloy. A sphere is the strongest possible shape for resisting a uniform and gentle pressure from all sides. The beautiful and elegant design of these vessels is a quiet and profound testament to the power of geometry and of materials science. They are small, strong, and beautiful, technological seeds designed to protect a small and fragile pocket of our own low-pressure world in the heart of the most high-pressure environment on Earth. To achieve a state of gentle and neutral buoyancy in the deep and dense water, these submersibles and robots often use a strange and beautiful material called syntactic foam. This is not like the soft and squishy foam that we are used to. It is an incredibly strong and rigid composite material that is made of millions and millions of tiny, perfectly hollow and incredibly strong glass spheres, all embedded in a hard and beautiful epoxy resin. This material is both incredibly strong, so it will not be crushed by the pressure, and it is also lighter than water, so it provides the gentle and necessary lift to keep the vehicle from sinking too quickly. It is a quiet and beautiful, high-tech solution to one of the most basic and gentle challenges of the deep. The powerful and beautiful lights on these deep-sea submersibles are, for many of the places they visit, the very first and the very only light that has ever, in the entire 4.5 billion year history of our planet, shone in these deep and quiet places. Imagine for a moment the profound and gentle beauty of that. To be the first being to bring a gentle and quiet light to a part of our own world that has rested in a perfect and unbroken darkness since its very creation. The beams of these lights, as they sweep across the soft and gentle ooze of the trench floor, are like the first, gentle, and quiet dawn of a brand new and secret day. A day that lasts for only a few precious and beautiful hours of exploration. The very first human journey to the bottom of the deepest part of the ocean, the Challenger, deep in the Mariana Trench, was a quiet, brave, and gentle expedition that took place in the year 1960. The beautiful and strange-looking vessel was a bathyscaphe, a kind of deep-sea balloon named the Trieste. It was crewed by two brave and quiet men, Jacques Picard and Don Walsh. Their small and cramped crew sphere was attached to a huge and buoyant float that was filled with gasoline, which is lighter than water. Their journey was a slow, quiet, and profound testament to the power of human curiosity and courage. The gentle and quiet descent of the Trieste to the bottom of the Challenger Deep was a slow, peaceful, and almost meditative journey that took nearly 5 long and silent hours. Inside their small steel sphere, the two explorers would have listened to the quiet creaks and groans of their vessel as it adjusted to the immense and ever-increasing pressure. They would have watched as the world outside their tiny, thick window transformed from blue to violet to a perfect and absolute black. It was a journey into a world that no human had ever seen, a quiet and gentle pilgrimage to the deepest and most sacred of all the hidden cathedrals of our planet. When the Trieste finally and gently settled on the soft and quiet floor of the Challenger Deep, the two explorers, with their single, soft searchlight, looked out of their small window. And in that moment, they saw something that forever changed our understanding of the deep ocean. They saw a single, small and gentle flatfish, about 1 foot long, swimming slowly and peacefully by. This quiet and beautiful sight was a profound and definitive sign that complex life was possible, even in this most extreme and most gentle of all environments. The abyss was not a dead and empty void. It was a home, And after just 20 quiet and gentle minutes on the bottom, they began their long, slow, and equally peaceful 3-hour ascent back to the world of light. Modern explorations of the trenches often use beautiful and sophisticated, unmanned scientific platforms called landers. These are not vehicles that drive around but are quiet and gentle, free-falling elevators that are dropped from a ship on the surface and that sink slowly and gracefully to the trench floor. They are laden with a beautiful and complex array of sensitive scientific instruments, and because they have no tether and no human crew, they can be left on the bottom for many days, or even many months, quietly and patiently gathering data from this hidden and gentle world. After their mission is complete, a gentle, acoustic signal is sent from the ship, and the lander releases its ballast weights and gently and slowly floats back to the surface, carrying its precious and beautiful cargo of new knowledge. These gentle and patient landers carry a beautiful suite of quiet and sensitive instruments. They have thermometers that can measure the tiniest and most gentle fluctuations in the deep water's temperature. They have pressure gauges that can feel the subtle and gentle rise and fall of the deep sea tides. And they have current meters that can detect the slow, almost imperceptible and graceful drift of the abyssal currents. They are our quiet and gentle, scientific sense organs, our patient and peaceful feelers that we can extend down into the deepest and most mysterious parts of our own beautiful planet to feel its slow, quiet, and gentle pulse. The landers also carry one of the most simple and most beautiful of all scientific tools, a baited camera. A small piece of fish is attached to a bar in front of a camera and a soft, gentle light, and then the lander simply and patiently waits. Slowly, out of the surrounding gentle darkness, the strange and beautiful creatures of the trench, attracted by the scent of the bait, will emerge and will be captured on video. These baited cameras have given us our most beautiful, our most intimate, and our most gentle images of the deep sea life in its natural and undisturbed habitat. They are a quiet and gentle invitation to the shy and beautiful residents of the deep to come and to show themselves to us. The vast and beautiful landscapes of the ocean trenches, the great and silent cliffs and the soft and gentle plains, are mapped using a beautiful and gentle process called sonar. A ship on the surface sends a gentle and focused beam of sound, a quiet ping, down into the deep. This sound travels down, bounces off the seafloor, and its gentle echo returns to the ship. By measuring the precise amount of time it takes for this echo to return, scientists can calculate the exact depth of the water. By doing this over and over again as the ship slowly and gently moves, they can paint a beautiful, detailed, and three-dimensional picture of the hidden and secret landscape that lies miles below. A quiet and beautiful form of seeing with gentle and patient sound. The quiet and gentle robotic vehicles that explore the deep are equipped with beautiful and sophisticated robotic arms. These arms are controlled with great precision by a pilot on the ship on the surface, and they can perform delicate and gentle tasks in the deep. They can pick up a strange and beautiful rock. They can take a sample of the cold and quiet water, and they can even, with the most gentle and delicate of touches, collect one of the strange, soft and gelatinous creatures that live there, placing it in a cold and pressurized container to be brought back, alive and healthy, to the surface for quiet and gentle study. These beautiful arms are our own remote and gentle hands in the deep. It is a beautiful, gentle, and humbling fact that every single scientific expedition that travels to the deep and quiet ocean trenches discovers new species of life that have never, ever been seen by human eyes before. Every single journey is a journey of profound and gentle discovery. This is a quiet and beautiful testament to how little we still know about our own home planet. The trenches are a vast and quiet reservoir of unknown and beautiful biodiversity, a living and gentle library of millions of years of slow and patient deep-sea evolution. There are still so many quiet, gentle, and beautiful secrets that the deep ocean is waiting to share with us. The deep and gentle ocean trenches are, in a very real and beautiful sense, one of the last and most gentle frontiers of exploration left on our own planet. We have mapped the entire surface of the Moon and of Mars in greater detail than we have mapped the floor of our own deep oceans. The trenches are a quiet and beautiful reminder that the age of exploration is not over. There are still vast, quiet, and mysterious worlds to be discovered, not in the distant stars, but right here, beneath our own gentle and beautiful blue waves. They are an invitation to a different kind of exploration. A journey not outwards, but a quiet, gentle, and profound journey downwards. To listen to the quiet and gentle world of the deep trenches, scientists have lowered beautiful and incredibly sensitive underwater microphones called hydrophones into their profound and silent depths. These hydrophones can be left for months at a time, quietly and patiently listening to the deep and gentle sounds of the abyss. They are our ears in the deep, and the recordings they have made are a beautiful and mysterious symphony of strange and gentle sounds. They are a quiet and beautiful reminder that the deep is not a place of absolute silence, but is a place of a different and more profound kind of sound. The gentle and sensitive hydrophones that have been listening to the deep have recorded the profound, slow and almost infrasonic rumbles of the deep earthquakes as the tectonic plates gently and slowly shift. They have recorded the quiet and gentle clicks and whistles of the deep diving whales that hunt in these dark and quiet canyons. And they have also recorded many other strange, beautiful, and deeply mysterious sounds, complex and melodic sounds, whose source is, to this day, still completely and gently unknown. These mysterious sounds are a quiet and beautiful puzzle, a gentle and secret song from the very deepest and most quiet part of our world. The simple and gentle act of sending a message from a robotic submersible on the trench floor to the waiting ship on the surface can take many long, quiet, and peaceful minutes. The sound waves or the light waves that carry the message must make their long and gentle journey up through 7 miles of cold, dense, and quiet water. This built-in time delay creates a unique and gentle rhythm to the work of deep-sea exploration. It is a slow, patient, and quiet conversation. It is a beautiful and gentle reminder that we cannot rush our exploration of this deep and gentle world. We must adapt to its own slow, patient, and quiet pace. Our exploration of the trenches is a beautiful and gentle dance between our own fast technology and the deep, slow, and profound stillness of the abyss. The deep, quiet, and powerful earthquakes that have their origins in the beautiful and gentle subduction zones of the trenches can sometimes create a rare, powerful, and beautiful phenomenon in the ocean above, a tsunami. When a great undersea earthquake causes a sudden and vertical shift in the seafloor, it can displace a vast and unimaginable column of water. This displacement creates a series of long, low, and incredibly fast-moving waves that can travel across the entire ocean basin. In the deep and open ocean, these waves are often so low and so gentle that a ship might pass over one without even noticing. But as the wave approaches a shallow coastline, its immense and quiet energy is compressed, and it can rise up to become a great and powerful wall of water. It is a rare and profound and sometimes tragic reminder of the deep, quiet, and immense power that is sleeping gently in the heart of our planet's beautiful and silent trenches. The great and beautiful ocean trenches form a vast, interconnected, and gentle network that stretches all around our globe like the quiet and delicate seams on a beautiful, hand-stitched blue and white ball. They are not random scars, but are the logical and beautiful boundaries between the Earth's great and slowly moving tectonic plates. From the deep and gentle Peru-Chile Trench along the coast of South America to the vast and curving arc of the Aleutian Trench near Alaska to the great and beautiful chain of trenches that defines the western edge of the Pacific Ocean, they are all part of a single, global, and beautiful system. They are the quiet and gentle framework that underlies the very shape and the very dynamism of our living and breathing world. Some of the beautiful and gentle trenches, like the profound and quiet Mariana Trench, are located on some of the most ancient and most stable parts of the seafloor. The oceanic crust that is being subducted in these places is incredibly old, cold, and dense, and so it sinks down into the mantle at a very steep and gentle angle, creating the very deepest and most profound of all the trenches. These ancient and quiet trenches are like the old and gentle elders of the planet's geological community, places of deep, slow, and profound wisdom. Other trenches, where the great tectonic plates are moving past each other at a much faster rate, are some of the youngest, most active, and most dynamic geological places on our entire planet. In these trenches, the process of subduction is more energetic, there are more frequent earthquakes, and there are chains of active and beautiful volcanoes on the overriding plate. These young and active trenches are the vibrant and creative workshops of the planet, places where the world is being constantly and beautifully remade, where the forces of creation and destruction are in a constant, dynamic, and gentle dance. The deep, strange, and beautiful topography of the ocean trenches, these vast and hidden canyons on the seafloor, has a subtle but profound and gentle influence on the slow and quiet circulation of the deep ocean currents. Just as a mountain range on land can steer and can channel the winds of the atmosphere, so too can these great undersea mountain ranges in reverse steer and channel the slow, cold, and gentle rivers of the abyss. The trenches are the deep and quiet valleys, and the great and silent canyons that guide the slow and patient circulation of the deepest and oldest water on our planet. These great and abyssal currents are a slow, gentle, and profoundly important part of a global system that is sometimes called the global conveyor belt. And this is a vast, slow, and interconnected system of currents that moves heat and nutrients all around our planet. The cold, dense water that sinks near the poles will spend hundreds or even thousands of years on a slow and gentle journey through the deep ocean basins, its path guided by the great and silent topography of the seafloor, including the beautiful and gentle trenches. This slow and quiet circulation is a vital and gentle part of what makes our planet's climate so stable and so life-friendly. Because the deep and gentle ocean trenches are such quiet, stable, and undisturbed places, they hold a beautiful and almost perfect record of the ocean's long and quiet past. The slow and patient accumulation of sediment on the trench floor is a high-fidelity and gentle archive of planetary change. By studying the chemical and fossil record in this sediment, we can learn about the great and gentle ice ages of the past, about the slow and beautiful drift of the continents, and about the long and quiet story of the evolution of life in the sea. The trenches are the quiet and gentle libraries of our planet, and their books are written in a beautiful and patient language of mud and of ooze and of time. The deep and quiet ocean trenches are a beautiful and profound place where the life of the ocean, the geology of the deep earth, and the chemistry of the world's water are all deeply, quietly, and gently connected. The living creatures depend on the gentle rain of chemicals and of marine snow. The chemistry of the water is shaped by the immense pressure and by the materials that are released from the Earth's crust. And the geology of the trench itself is the great and gentle stage upon which this slow, quiet, and beautiful drama unfolds. It is a perfect and beautiful ecosystem in the truest sense of the word, a place where everything is gently and profoundly connected to everything else. Our gentle and beautiful planet would be a very different, a much less dynamic, and a much less interesting place without its quiet, deep and gentle trenches. They are a vital and necessary organ of the living and breathing Earth. They are the planet's quiet and gentle heart, pulling in the old and the cold and helping to drive the beautiful and creative processes that give birth to the new. To appreciate the trenches is to appreciate the deep, hidden and profound machinery that makes our own sunlit world possible. The trenches are a vital and beautiful organ of the living Earth, a quiet and constant place of profound and gentle renewal. They are not a scar or a flaw in the planet's surface. They are a sign of its health, its dynamism, and its gentle aliveness. Just as the gentle and rhythmic act of breathing, of taking in and of letting go, is a sign of life in our own bodies, so too is the slow, gentle, and rhythmic process of subduction a sign of the deep and profound life of our own beautiful planet. The trenches are where the Earth itself takes a long, slow, and quiet breath, a breath that lasts for 1,000,000 years. It is a beautiful and gentle thought to realize that the very same slow and powerful geological forces that create the highest and most majestic mountains on the land are the very same forces that create the deepest and most mysterious trenches in the sea. Mountains and trenches are two beautiful and gentle sides of the same slow, quiet, and powerful geological coin. Where two continental plates collide, they crumple and fold upwards, creating a great and beautiful mountain range. Where an oceanic plate meets a continental plate, it bends and slides downwards, creating a deep and gentle trench. They are the positive and the negative spaces, the light and the shadow of the same beautiful and creative geological dance. The immense and gentle pressure in the deepest parts of the ocean trenches is so high that it can cause the simple and familiar substance of water to behave in strange, new and beautiful ways. We are used to water freezing into ice at 0 degrees Celsius, but under the immense and quiet pressure of the hadal zone, water can be forced into different and more compact crystalline structures, forming unique and beautiful types of ice, such as ice peaks or ice 7 at temperatures that are far above the normal freezing point. The deep trenches are a natural and gentle laboratory where the fundamental and beautiful properties of matter itself can be transformed, a quiet and profound place of gentle and high-pressure alchemy. The quiet and gentle study of the ocean trenches is, in the end, the study of the slow, quiet, and powerful heartbeat of our planet. To listen to the deep and gentle rumbles of the subduction zones, to measure the slow and graceful drift of the abyssal currents, and to watch the patient and beautiful unfolding of life in the deep is to place a gentle and quiet stethoscope on the very chest of our living world. It is a quiet, gentle, and profound form of planetary medicine, an act of deep and loving listening to the most ancient and most quiet of all possible rhythms. The deep and gentle trenches are a quiet and profound reminder that the beautiful green and sunlit surface that we live on is just a thin, gentle, and incredibly fragile skin on a world that is deep, ancient, mysterious, and profoundly and beautifully alive. Our familiar world is just the top, sunlit page of a vast and ancient book. The trenches are a quiet and gentle invitation to turn that page and to begin to read the deep, dark and beautiful story that is written in the quiet and patient heart of our own beautiful and home planet. The great and beautiful chain of ocean trenches that encircles our globe is a quiet and profound testament to the power of slow, patient, and gentle change. These vast and majestic features were not created in a single, violent event, but were formed by a process of such incredible slowness that it is almost indistinguishable from perfect stillness. It is a gentle and beautiful lesson from the planet itself, a quiet and profound reminder that the most powerful and the most transformative forces in the universe are not always the loudest and the fastest, but are often the quietest, the slowest, and the most gentle, and the most persistent. The whole long and beautiful history of our planet's great and ancient oceans is written in the soft, quiet, and gentle layers of mud and of ooze that have settled over eons at the very bottom of its deepest and most quiet trenches. Every great and gentle change in the Earth's climate, every slow and beautiful shift in the ocean's chemistry, and every quiet and profound step in the evolution of marine life has left its own faint and beautiful signature in this deep and quiet archive. To read these layers is to read the autobiography of the ocean itself, a story of profound and gentle peace, of slow and beautiful change, and of a deep and abiding quiet resilience. To understand the trenches in all their deep, dark, and gentle mystery is to understand the deep, slow, and gentle breath of our own living, breathing, and beautiful world. They are not a separate or an alien place. They are the deep and quiet engine room of our planet, the place where the slow and powerful cycles of creation and of renewal are constantly and quietly at work. To send our thoughts down into these quiet and gentle places is to connect with the most fundamental and most peaceful rhythms of our own planetary home. There is a deep, profound, and gentle comfort to be found in the very idea of the ocean trenches, in the existence of a place of ultimate, absolute, and gentle quiet on our own, often noisy and chaotic planet. The profound and gentle silence that exists in the deep ocean is a silence that is deeper, more pure, and more profound than any silence that can ever be found on the busy and wind-swept surface of the land. It is a quiet and beautiful anchor for the mind, a reminder that at the very heart of our world there is a place of perfect and unbreakable peace. The deep and gentle silence of the ocean trenches is not an empty or a lifeless silence. It is not a void. It is a silence that is full of a deep, ancient, and peaceful presence. It is the silence of a great and ancient cathedral, a silence that is made of immense space, of profound stillness, and of a deep and gentle, resonant awe. To imagine this, silence is to give your own mind a beautiful and gentle gift, a small and quiet taste of a peace that is absolute, perfect, and profound. The immense and quiet pressure of the deep ocean trenches can be thought of not as a crushing, violent, and destructive force, but as a constant, steady, gentle, and peaceful embrace. It is the pressure of a perfect and unchanging stillness, a gentle and absolute holding of the quiet, cold water, and of all the soft and beautiful creatures that live within it. To imagine this pressure is to imagine a feeling of being completely and perfectly held, of being so securely and so gently embraced by the world that all of your own inner tensions can simply and beautifully dissolve. The perfect, profound, and absolute darkness of the deep ocean trenches can be a source of deep and gentle comfort. It is a gentle and quiet release from the constant and often overwhelming stimulation of light and of sight that fills our waking world. It is a perfect and peaceful darkness, a soft and gentle blanket for the mind, a place that is completely and beautifully free from all distraction. It is not a scary darkness, but a warm and womb-like one, a darkness that is not about absence, but is about a deep and gentle, restful presence. The profound, gentle, and beautiful isolation of the ocean trenches is a form of perfect and peaceful solitude. To be in the deep is to be completely and utterly alone, but in the most peaceful and the most non-lonely way that it is possible to imagine. It is a solitude that is not about separation, but is about a deep and profound connection to the quiet and gentle heart of the planet itself. It is the peace that comes from being the only quiet and gentle point of awareness in a vast, silent, and beautiful room. The slow, gentle, and profoundly patient pace of life in the deep ocean trenches is a quiet and beautiful lesson for our own, often hurried and anxious lives. The creatures of the deep have mastered the art of a quiet and gentle efficiency, of a profound and beautiful patience. They are a quiet and gentle reminder to us to slow down, to be patient, and to find the deep and gentle beauty that can be found in a quiet, simple, and deliberate existence. The trench is a gentle teacher, and its lesson is the profound and beautiful wisdom of slowness. The deep and quiet ocean trenches can be seen as a beautiful and gentle metaphor for the deep, quiet, and often unexplored parts of our own subconscious mind. These are the hidden, mysterious, and powerful places within us that are often left in the dark. We are often afraid to journey into these inner depths, afraid of what monsters we might find there. But the gentle and beautiful truth of the ocean trenches shows us that these deep and hidden places are not to be feared. Like the real ocean trenches, these deep and inner places within our own minds are not filled with monsters, but are often places of strange, gentle, and quiet wisdom. They are home to the forgotten parts of ourselves, the gentle and soft creatures of our own inner abyss. To make a gentle and quiet journey into our own inner depths with a sense of curiosity and of peace is not a journey into danger, but is a journey of beautiful and profound self-discovery, a gentle and loving act of inner exploration. The strange and beautiful resilience of life in the deep ocean trenches is a profound and gentle testament to the power of softness, of yielding, and of gentle adaptation. The creatures of the deep do not survive by being strong and hard and armored. They survive by being soft and open and in perfect and gentle equilibrium with their world. It is a quiet and beautiful reminder from the deepest part of our planet that true strength is not always found in resistance, but is often found in the gentle, wise, and beautiful art of letting go. The deep and gentle ocean trenches are the final and most peaceful resting place for all the things that sink down from the bright and busy world above. They are a quiet and gentle place of return, a place of final and profound recycling. In this way, they are a beautiful and gentle metaphor for a deep and peaceful rest. They are a quiet and final embrace from the planet itself, a place where all the struggles of the surface world can be laid to rest in a deep, dark, and gentle peace. The water that flows in our own veins and that fills our own cells with its perfect and gentle balance of salts and of minerals is a small, quiet, and deeply personal ocean. It is a beautiful and gentle living echo of the great and ancient sea from which all of life on our planet first emerged. We are, each of us, a small and gentle vessel that contains a tiny and precious piece of that original, life-giving, and beautiful ocean. We are all, in a very deep and quiet way, children of the sea. And so to fall asleep is, in a way, to make a gentle, quiet, and peaceful descent into the deep and beautiful trench of our own inner world. It is to let go of the bright, noisy, and busy surface of our waking mind and to sink down into the deep, dark, quiet, and mysterious realms of our own subconscious. It is a nightly pilgrimage to the very heart of our own personal abyss, a place not of fear, but of deep and profound, gentle rest, of quiet and beautiful renewal, and of strange and wonderful dreams. The perfect stillness of the hadal zone is a state that is almost impossible to find on land. Every part of the surface world is in constant motion, stirred by the wind, the sun, and the rhythms of life. But in the deep trenches, the water can be so still, so ancient, and so undisturbed that a cloud of sediment, once stirred up, can take many gentle years to settle back down. To imagine this stillness is to give your own mind a gift of profound and perfect calm, a quiet and gentle anchor in a world that is always in motion. It is a stillness that is not empty, but is full of a deep and patient waiting presence. The creatures of the trench live in a world of near-perfect constancy. The temperature never changes. The pressure is always the same. The darkness is absolute and eternal. In this gentle and predictable world, the very concept of time as we know it, a cycle of day and night, of seasons, of years, has no meaning. Life is lived not in a frantic race against the clock, but in a slow, gentle, and almost timeless unfolding. To think of this world is to feel your own internal sense of time begin to soften, to stretch, and to dissolve into a more gentle, quiet, and boundless sense of pure and simple being. The deep trenches are the Earth's quiet and gentle memory keepers. The slow, patient layering of sediment on the trench floor is like the slow and patient forming of memories in a deep and quiet mind. Each layer is a single, gentle thought, a quiet record of a moment in time that is then carefully and lovingly covered over by the next. The trenches hold the memory of ancient starlight, captured by the plankton at the surface millions of years ago, now buried deep in the silent and gentle darkness. They are the planet's beautiful and profound subconscious mind. The journey of a single, dead whale from the surface to the floor of a deep ocean trench is a profound and gentle epic. This whale fall is a vast and sudden gift of life to the deep and quiet world. For decades, it will become a teeming and beautiful oasis of life, a quiet and gentle city in the dark, as a whole succession of strange and beautiful creatures come to feast upon its immense and generous bounty. It is a beautiful and gentle reminder that even in its passing, a great and gentle life can continue to give, to nourish, and to create a whole new and beautiful world of being. The very water at the bottom of the deepest trenches is some of the oldest and most beautiful water on our planet. It has been on a long, slow and gentle journey that has taken it thousands of years and thousands of miles. It may have last seen the sun in the cold and icy waters of the Antarctic, where it became so cold and so dense that it began its long and gentle descent into the abyss. It is a quiet and patient traveler, a liquid pilgrim that has carried its own deep and cold stillness with it on a journey around the entire beautiful globe. Life in the trenches has taught us a gentle and beautiful lesson about the very definition of life itself. We once thought that all life on Earth was ultimately dependent on the sun, but the beautiful and chemosynthetic ecosystems of the cold seeps and the hydrothermal vents show us that this is not true. Life can also be powered by the gentle, quiet, and inner energy of the planet itself. This profound and beautiful discovery means that life may be a far more common and far more versatile phenomenon in the universe than we ever dared to dream. There is a quiet and beautiful poetry in the names that have been given to the deep sea trenches. The Mariana Trench, the Tonga Trench, the Kermadec Trench, the Puerto Rico Trench. They are named for the gentle and beautiful islands and the quiet and peaceful coastlines that they lie near. These names are a gentle and beautiful reminder that these deep and hidden places are not alien or separate from our world, but are a deep and profound part of the geography of our own familiar and beautiful home. The quiet and gentle ecosystem of the trenches is incredibly fragile, because life here is so slow and so perfectly adapted to its constant and gentle environment, it is very vulnerable to change. A single, thoughtless act of pollution on the surface can have profound and long-lasting consequences when that pollution makes its slow and gentle journey down into the deep. This is a quiet and gentle reminder of our own deep and profound responsibility to be the gentle and loving caretakers of all the parts of our beautiful planet, not just the parts that we can easily see. The deep and gentle trenches are a world without weather. There is no rain, no snow, no wind, no clouds. There is only the slow, quiet, and gentle drift of the abyssal currents. To imagine such a place is to imagine a state of profound and perfect peace. It is a quiet and beautiful escape for the mind, a place to go in your thoughts when the weather of your own waking life feels too stormy or too turbulent. It is a place of absolute and perfect, gentle calm. And so the great and gentle ocean trenches are a beautiful and profound symbol of a deep and quiet peace. They are a physical embodiment of stillness, of silence, of patience, and of a gentle and resilient life that has found a way to thrive in the most challenging of all possible worlds. To think of them is to feel a quiet and gentle connection to the deep, slow, and peaceful heartbeat of our planet. They are the final and most quiet of all, the Earth's many beautiful and gentle lullabies. And so our slow and gentle journey into the deepest, quietest places on Earth comes to its peaceful and final close. Our descent into the world of ocean trenches now settles into a deep and profound stillness. We drifted down through the fading light into a world of immense, quiet pressure and absolute, gentle darkness. We explored the slow geological dance that forms these hidden canyons, and we met the strange, soft, and beautiful creatures that call this quiet world their home. We felt the profound peace of a place that is beyond the reach of the sun and the noise of our own busy world. The same deep, patient, and gentle rhythm that shapes the ocean trenches is the same rhythm that can guide you now into a deep and restorative sleep. The same profound quiet that fills the abyss is a quiet that you can find in the very center of your own being. You are a part of this vast, mysterious, and peaceful planet. So now let go of the journey. Let go of the descent. Let yourself settle like a single, gentle flake of marine snow into the soft, quiet, and peaceful depths of your own deep sleep. There is nothing left to explore tonight. There is only rest. Good night.